For the mother is one, but she comes before us with differing aspects. Many are her powers and personalities, many her emanations and vibhutis that do her work in the universe. On the southern door is Maheshwari, the northern door is Mahakali, the eastern door is Mahalakshmi, and the western one is Mahasaraswati. What was Maheshwari? What was the word that he gave? The one word?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. What was Mahakali? Strength. And Mahalakshmi is harmony. Yes, we read further. Mother, who's actually the artist, the architect, the creator of Matri Mandir, way before it was created, I just found a few messages of the mother where in 1970, 14th August 1970, she says, the Matri Mandir wants to be the symbol of the universal mother, according to Sri Aurobindo's teaching. The Matri Mandir will be the soul of Auroville. So, where you just went was the soul. You know, each place has a soul. Like in your own houses, do you think your house has a soul? Where have you ever searched for the soul of your house, where you stay, your apartment? It will have. If you not try to find the soul of your own house.
Let the Matri Mandir be the living symbol of Auroville's aspiration for the divine.
That was her message in 1971. And when did exactly the work of Matri Mandir start, Jaya? 71. Yes. Now we're going to go to this thing. Have all of you asked, who is this mother? Everybody here in Sri Aurobindo Ashram, in Auroville, you know, says mother, mother. Who is this mother? Has it come in anyone's mind? It's come, ne? It has to come because it came to many people.
Who is the mother? A disciple questions to Sri Aurobindo. It will be recalled over since 1926, the year when Sri Aurobindo went into retirement. The mother has been the active charge of Sri Aurobindo's yoga and those who are dedicated to it. Who is the mother was the question, in answer to which Sri Aurobindo sent him the four power of the mother, which was then yet in manuscript stage. It moved him profoundly, and it did not take him long to perceive and realize all the four powers spoken by the Sri Aurobindo in person of the mother by MP Pandit.
So this disciple, he was just a young boy, and he asked. He went ahead and she asked Sri Aurobindo because before 1926, the ashram was formed in 1926. Sri Aurobindo Ashram, you all went to Pondicherry. It was formed in 1926. And before that, Sri Aurobindo used to call the mother Mira Alfasa. She was from France, and he used to call her that. Suddenly, after the ashram got formed, he started calling her the mother. So all the disciples were suddenly like, who is this? Who is this? The mother? Is she the divine mother? Who is she? Why are you calling her the mother? So that was the question. And it's very interesting as to what was Sri Aurobindo's answer. The one whom we adore as the mother is the divine conscious force that dominates all existence, one and yet so many sided that to follow her movement is impossible, even for the quickest mind and for the freest and most vast intelligence. So the disciple was satisfied to a little extent, but then he went on. He had many, many questions.
Is the mother one or she many? Like Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. For the mother is the one, but she comes before us in different aspect.
So Sri Aurobindo replied, yes, yes, all of them are there, but she says, for the mother is one, but she comes before us with differing aspects. Many are her powers and personalities, many her emanations and vibhutis that do her work in the universe. And then he says, the four powers of the mother are four of her outstanding personalities, portions and embodiments of her divinity through whom she acts on her creatures, orders, and harmonizes her creations in the worlds and directs the working out of her thousand forces. It's as if the mother, which is one, has donned these personalities. Like if we actually go to our own mother, sometimes our mother has one personality, our own mother, our physical mother, and then she'll be something else at another place. And at another place, she'll be something else. Just like that. That Divine Mother has many personalities, but the four powers are the four outstanding personalities.
How do we know her, the Divine Mother?
So Sri Aurobindo says there are three ways of being of the mother, of which you can become aware when you enter into touch of oneness with the conscious force that upholds us and the universe. The first one is transcendent, the original supreme Shakti. She stands above the worlds and links the creation to the ever unmanifest mystery of the Supreme. She's very, very far away. She's extremely far away from us. She's standing there extremely far and she's linking this creation which we are in, a part of it, including our own body, and linking the Sachidananda, that divine. And then at the universal level,
The cosmic Mahashakti. She creates all these beings and contents and enters, supports, and conducts all these million processes and forces.
so the first was the transcendent. Right above, she stands and she links the creation with the creator. And then there is the universal where she's making the creation, she's creating. And look at the words that Sri Aurobindo is saying. Sri Aurobindo's words are mantric. If you actually read them very beautifully, like how he says, contains and enters, supports and conducts all these million processes and forces. How the flower blooms, the the little bud that blooms every day, the raindrops that fall, everything. She's the one. And at the individual level,
The individual, she embodies the power of these two vaster ways of her existence, makes them living and near to us, and meditate between human personality and the divine nature.
individual is what I feel we are most concerned with, because transcendent, who has seen? We don't connect with that. Universal, okay, yes, we see the prakriti, we see nature, we see everything happening around us, but it is taken for so granted. But right here at the individual level, what does she do? She embodies the power of these two vaster ways. So the one is standing above and envisioning the whole creation, creating and makes them living and near to us, and at the same time mediates between the human personality, which is limited in its nature, and the divine nature, which is so vast. She does the mediating also, and that is what we are concerned with. And in today's interaction, we're going to be concerned with that mostly. To know the Divine Mother more deeply, to get in touch with her essence, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother has given us the Mother symbol, which we've already seen. You've already seen this. So, why symbol? Why do you think Mother and Sri Aurobindo gave symbols? Why do you think they gave symbols? At the end of the day, everything is very symbolic. You know what Sri Aurobindo says about what is a symbol? A symbol, as I understand it, is the form on one plane that represents a truth of another. A form on one plane that represents the truth of another. We see the form, right? We get more connected to the form, but it's actually representing the truth of another. For instance, a flag is the symbol of a nation, but generally, all forms are symbols. This body of ours is a symbol of our real being. Everything is a symbol of some higher reality. Do you agree with that? Everything. If you see the chair that you're sitting on, it symbolizes something. Everything symbolizes something or the other.
So first day, you have already gone through the 12 aspect of the mother symbol. Today's we are going to focus on the 4 inner petal. You will see the white empty space of 4 petal represents the 4 power of the mother. 12 petal represents the 12 power of the mother manifested for her work. And the central circle represents the divine consciousness, the Aditi.
So, this symbol, the mother symbol, is actually a representation of the mother herself. It's so powerful. It is she, through the mother symbol, that we can actually explore her. We can actually go nearer to her.
So today we are in day 4, and our focus is to understand this 4 aspect of the mother. And in Matri Mandir, when you enter from one door. Matri Mandir has a 4 door to enter. And this 4 door has been given to 4 aspect of the mother, and that is what we are going to deepen today in our session.
On the southern door is Maheshwari, the northern door is Mahakali, the eastern door is Mahalakshmi, and the western one is Mahasaraswati. So here we have just purposefully selected quotes from this letter that Sri Aurobindo wrote in 1926 to this disciple, and we're going to be sharing that with you. We're going to be giving you as a back gift, but these are the words that were there in that letter.
So Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. The brief attribute is what you are seeing right now here. Maheshwari lays down the large lines of world forces. She is vast. Mahakali drives energy and impetus. She is action. Mahalakshmi discovers their rhythms and measure. She is harmony. And Mahasaraswati presides over their detail of organization and execution, relation of parts and effective combination of forces, and unfailing exactitude of result and fulfillment. She is the goddess of detail execution.
We'll go deeper into this. Maheshwari, Sri Aurobindo actually shortens and gives her one aspect. What is that? Wisdom. And then he says, one is her personality of calm wideness and comprehending wisdom. Look at the words. It's not only wisdom. What kind of wisdom? Calm wideness and comprehending wisdom. and tranquil benignity and inexhaustible compassion. How, how profound that is! And sovereign and surpassing majesty and all ruling greatness.
So now we are entering into four aspects of the mother in detail. So just be with it. This is where the session begins. So just be with the line as much as you can. The tranquil is she and wonderful, great and calm forever. Nothing can move her because all wisdom is in her. Nothing is hidden from her that chooses to know. She comprehends all things and all beings and their nature and what moves them, and the law of the world, and this time, and how all was and is and must be. A strength in her that meets everything and masters, and none can prevail in the end against her vast, intangible wisdom and high, tranquil power. Equal, patient, unalterable in her will, she deals with men according to their nature and with things and happenings according to their force and the truth that is in them.
The truth of things is her one concern, knowledge her center of power, and to build our soul and nature into the divine truth, her mission and labor. That's Maheshwari for you. Now we go into Mahakali, the strength aspect.
Mahakali, she is strength. Another embodies her power of splendid strength and irresistible passion, her warrior mood, her overwhelming will, and her impetus, swiftness, and the world shaking force. But for her, what is done in a day might have taken centuries. Without her Ananda might be wide and grave, or soft and sweet and beautiful, but it will lose the flaming joy of its most absolute intensity. To knowledge, she gives a conquering might, brings to beauty and harmony a high and mounting movement, and imparts to the slow and difficult labor after perfection an impetus that multiplies the power and shortens the long way. Nothing can satisfy her that falls short of the supreme ecstasies and the highest height, the noblest aim, the largest vistas. Therefore, with her, the victorious force of the divine, and it is by the grace of her fire and passion and speed if the great achievement can be done now rather than hereafter.
Mark the words splendid strength. What kind of a strength? Is this some kind of a strength that is like an asuric strength? You know, there is this asur, those demons. You know, when we talk about strength, even demons have strength, isn't it?
Yesterday, we had this discussion of example was given that if the strength goes other side, I think it was Louis who's asked to Masueda. So that's what she's referring to. Yeah.
So, but here he's saying it is the victorious force of the divine. This strength is that splendid strength which upholds, which doesn't destroy, which takes you to the higher, not to the lower. That is that strength of the Divine Mother, that Mahakali strength. It can never be destructive in the sense of destruction, in the sense of negativity. It is always something, if there is a destruction, it is to bring someone closer to the divine.
So from yesterday's session, when we did para and apara, mother's forces are para, aligned to para.
Mahalakshmi, harmony. A third is vivid and sweet and wonderful, with her deep secret of beauty and harmony and fine rhythm, her intricate and subtle opulence, her compelling attraction and captivating grace. Such beautiful words. Sri Aurobindo was really a master of words. And if you act, do you remember what was Maheshwari? What was Maheshwari? What was the word that he gave? The one word?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. What was Mahakali? Strength. And Mahalakshmi is harmony. Yes, we read further.
Harmony and beauty of the mind and soul. Harmony and beauty of thoughts and feelings. Harmony and beauty in every outward act and movement. Harmony and beauty of life and surrounding. This is the demand of Mahalakshmi.
You know, in India, Mahalakshmi is that aspect of the Divine Mother which was always connected to money, wealth. Are, Mahalakshmi has come into the house, and they will worship money. But here we find, so there's a question from a sadhaka. Sri Aurobindo says here about Mahalakshmi. Does that mean that to all the poor people, she's not the goddess for the poor people who don't have money? She's not with them? Is it like that? Very interesting answer the mother gives, the mother herself. Yes.
Yes, poor without generosity, without order, without amplitude, without inner richness. All that is dry, cold, coiled up prevents the coming of Mahalakshmi.
Mark that. All that is dry, cold, coiled up prevents the coming of Mahalakshmi. That is not only in the poor man's house. It could be in the richest of rich man's house also. Yes.
It is not the question of big money, An extremely rich man can be terribly poor from a Mahalakshmi point of view. And a very poor man may be very rich if his heart is generous.
So beautiful, no?
The mother.
Mahasaraswati. Sri Aurobindo gives the word perfection to Mahasaraswati. And he says the fourth is equipped with her close and profound capacity of intimate knowledge and careful, flawless work, and quiet and exact perfection in all things. Now, again, an Indian would ask, Mahasaraswati? But here, Mahasaraswati is always considered the goddess of knowledge. Little children, when they grow up, they pray to Mahasaraswati that may we pass in our exams, and all of these things go on here. It's there in our culture. It's very beautiful. So, but why has Sri Aurobindo given perfection and not knowledge? Knowledge is more Maheshwari. So then this was again a question. And then Sri Aurobindo has not denied that Mahasaraswati does not have the knowledge aspect. In fact, he brings it out in the most beautiful way. He says, the fourth is equipped with her close and profound capacity of intimate knowledge. Now we have to catch these words: intimate knowledge and careful, flawless work and quiet and exact perfection in all things. Why is he saying that? The science and craft and technique of things are Mahasaraswati's province, the domain. Always she holds in her nature and can give to those whom she has chosen the intimate and precise knowledge, the subtlety and patience, the accuracy of intuitive mind and conscious hand, and discerning eye of the perfect worker. This power is the strong, the tireless, the careful and efficient builder, organizer, administrator, technician, artisan, and classifier of the worlds.
The youngest of four, she is most skillful in executive faculty and the nearest to the physical nature. In her constant and diligent arrangement and rearrangement of things, her eyes is on all needs at once and the way to meet them, and her intuition knows what to be chosen and what rejected, and successfully determines the right instrument at the right time, the right condition, and the right process. Carelessness, negligence, and intolerance she abhors. All is cramped and hasty and shuffling work, all clumsiness, all false adaptation and misuse of instrument and faculties, leaving of things undone and half done is offensive and foreign to her temper.
A mother to our wants, a friend in our difficulties, a persistent and tranquil counselor and mentor, chasing away with her radiant smile the clouds of gloom and fretfulness and depression, reminding always of the ever present help, pointing to the eternal sunshine. She is firm, quiet, and persevering in the deep and continuous urge that drives us towards the integrality of the higher nature. All the work of the other powers, the power of the Maheshwari, the Mahakali, the Mahalakshmi, leans on her for its completeness, for she assures the material foundation, elaborates the stuff of detail, and erects and rivets the armor of the structure.
So, we just completed reading out to you the description of the four aspects of the Divine Mother, which is text by Sri Aurobindo or the Mother. The point we are making is you to know, especially just that we are out of Matri Mandir and we had such a beautiful day to comprehend four aspect of a divinity in me acting, and if I can identify that what it is in its predominant active in me. So the exercise is going to take us as exploration of we have one line from the mother. She is saying or to Mahasaraswati, the divine Shakti lies hidden in the inner layers of our being. We can make an attempt to go closer to her by discovering ourselves through four powers, which verily lies within us too, and see how we can help the divine power manifest through us in the best possible manner. This is exactly the point of the session today. To come closer in me, how she is active. Masuvera said yesterday, she is all around you. She's in your breath. She's in your functioning on your body. She's in your emotion. She's in your thought. She's everywhere around you. Today's session is to see which is this active dimension which is part of my dominant personality and to discover that.
So, do I have the Maheshwari more in me? Do I have the Mahakali more in me? Do I have the Mahalakshmi? Or am I the Mahasaraswati? So, we're going to do an exploration. Nice, na? We're going to try to find out because it's all there. She's not just there at the cosmic level or at the transcendent level. She's right there, here. And she's emanating from the very center of our, even we have a soul. Do you all agree that we have a soul?
Of course.
So, right. So, that is that center, the inner chamber of our own being. We have an inner chamber too. Powerful. We all carry the Matri Mandir within us. And if we carry the Matri Mandir, the inner chamber within us, we have the four powers too. And of course, if the four powers are there, the 12 qualities are going to come.